Well, hello, and you join us here today for the latest chapter in the hot drama that is Rolex versus Omega. Tom, you're aware that both Rolex and Omega have been duking it out to be the king of the sea, right?
The king of the sea, right, yeah. How deep has one of them gone this time?
Well, before I spoil the outcome, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yeah.
Enthusiasm duly noted. Back in January of 1960, Tom, two geezers, oceanographer Jacques Piccard and US Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh, they went to the bottom of the ocean. And when I mean the bottom of the ocean, I mean right to the bottom. There's this one trench called the Mariana Trench that is it's deep.
Yeah.
It's around 11,000 meters deep. The around part will become more relevant as we go.
Okay.
They got to 10,916 meters, which is a bit like, you know, you're making your way there and you go, oh, I'm tired now, I'm going to go back, but you're within touching distance of the bottom.
No, I can see it. Yeah, let's go back to the hotel.
Exactly. They did that. That was back in 1960. Why is that relevant to all of this? Because on the outside of their submarine, called the Trieste, they had a Rolex, the Deepsea Special. This was a lump of a thing. The crystal looked like a polyp.
Right.
But nevertheless, it survived. Came back, all good, still told the time, lovely. Rolex sealed that record back in 1960.
Nice.
But 1960 is a while ago, and, you know, keeping things relevant, they decided that they would partner with James Cameron of Terminator fame.
Aliens,
and the new ones.
Yeah. He's got an interest in the abyss and all things blue.
He does, yeah. So he went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Same sort of story. There was a Rolex on the outside, and it was called the Deepsea Challenge. Looked very much like the Rolex Deepsea in the current catalogue. This watch was rated to 15,000 meters. The Deepsea Special in 1960 actually made it to 10,916 meters. Care to hazard a guess as to where the new Deepsea Challenge in 2012 made it to on the outside of James Cameron's sub?
All the way.
No, slightly less. It went 10,908 meters, so 8 meters shy of the previous record. I can only assume it's because they had a cleaner screen, so they didn't have to go as far to see the bottom and say they went there before they went back to the hotel.
They can't replicate the places that they went in the 60s, can they? They can't get back to the moon. They can't get back to the bottom of the ocean. What are they doing wrong?
Well, I don't know. But the outcome of that was that we got a special edition of the Deepsea rated to 3,900 meters that had the gradient dial that represented that blue abyss and the greeny yellow text which represented James Cameron's failed attempt to reach the bottom.
Oh, cool.
They didn't consider it a failure. Omega did, though. Because in 2019, Omega went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench themselves, and they took the Seamaster Planet Ocean Ultra Deep Professional. That was rated also to 15,000 meters, but this one made it to 10,935 meters, which is more than both of the Rolexes, and was a new world record.
Well done.
Also, they decided to release in 2022 the Planet Ocean 6,000 meters. This is based on the Omega Ultra Deep Professional.
Yep.
Goes a little bit deeper than Rolex's Deepsea, 6,000 versus just shy of 4,000.
Right.
And so both under the water and in the shops, Omega was doing the best job. Guess who didn't like that?
James Cameron?
James Cameron was like, this won't do, and he wrote a letter to Rolex. Dear Rolex.
Pull your socks up. You're tarnishing my good name.
So I'm assuming that at some point Rolex will be going back to the bottom of the Mariana Trench to reclaim that record, but in the meantime, they have decided to take the fight to Omega in the shops, because they have now just released the Rolex Deepsea Challenge, which is based on the Deepsea Challenge that went to the bottom of the ocean almost with James Cameron, with some slight differences.
Okay.
This isn't rated to the full 15,000 meters, it's rated to 11,000 meters, which is still significantly more than Omega's watch.
So I saw this watch and I'm curious as to what it does different to the previous version, so maybe you could enlighten me. I did watch a video to try and find that stuff out, but I watched the wrong video, and it was just James Cameron. So he was talking about diving and how he got into it, and how he's got this affinity for the sea, and how he aspired to be like the great divers of the 60s. And one of the things that he loved was the Rolex Submariner. That was what they were all wearing. That was this tool watch that he needed on his wrist if he was to be like them. And he says, now I'm gonna tell you what he says in this video verbatim, without inflection. That's how he says it as well. So he says, the Rolex Submariner is not merely a watch you own, it's a watch you earn.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he did. And he won't tell you what he means by that either. It's accompanied me for 25 years through arduous expeditions, strenuous film shoots, strenuous Hollywood award ceremonies. And just as I felt the need to earn it, I needed to earn the right to keep it. So I've committed my life to the preservation of ecosystems, to safeguard our planet. And after one such hard-fought and ongoing battle beside the indigenous leader, Chief Rowney of the Kayapo people, I presented a gift. It was to honour the bonds that we had built. I took my Submariner off my wrist and I put it on his. It was my history embodied, now merged with his. Okay?
What?
I don't know if he's going for a job at Hodinkee, but the way he talks is really up their street.
Well, Chief Rowney, if you would prefer to have the monetary value of that Rolex, please do get a quote over on Watchfinder. Buy, sell, exchange pre-owned watches.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one, but I enjoyed listening to it, James, so good on you.
I think I saw him in Harrods once looking at a Cartier.
Yeah. Was he going to strap that to the side of his car and see how fast it would go?
So in any case, such wise words to one side, we'll park that and think about that later, whilst looking out over a landscape perhaps.
So I didn't get the information I needed from that video, so can you tell me what this watch is doing that's different from the other one?
Yeah, so you've seen the Deepsea, rated to 3,900 metres. This one gets the full 11,000 metres. The one that went down with James Cameron was rated to 15,000 metres, but it seems like the bottom is basically around 11,000 metres. At some point, they're going to go down with like shovels and spades just to dig a little bit deeper to get a greater record. But for now, 11,000 metres, this will take you further than the official record for the deepest dive in the Mariana Trench.
Right.
You might imagine that the specs for this watch, the size specifically, might be quite extreme to achieve such a thing. The normal Deepsea is not a small watch, 44mm. This one is 50mm.
Wow.
That's pretty big. The thickness, it's almost half as thick as it is wide. It is 23mm thick.
Yeah, that's thick, isn't it?
Yeah. Door frames beware.
Yeah. Cuff buster.
Thankfully, though, because they have made it out of titanium, it is 30% lighter than the steel Deepsea Challenge on which this is based.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not sure that light is definitely the way that I would describe it, but it is lighter than it would have been were it made of a heavier material.
Sure, yeah, like the Earth is lighter than the sun.
Specifically, Rolex says this is made of RLX titanium, and you know how Rolex do like to have a little bit of uniqueness when it comes to materials. So I did some digging into this one. Rolex expresses that RLX titanium is very exclusively grade 5 titanium, which is what everyone else uses too. So nothing particularly special there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of it, I guess.
Yeah. They just want to make their own periodic table at this point, don't they?
They do. And then on the back of the watch as well, you will see the dates of the original 1960 dive, the 2012 dive, and it says Mariana Trench, which I'm assuming is the gap that they're leaving for when they go back a third time and they can say, yeah, we beat Omega this time for reals.
Right, yeah, cool.
It's quite a beast, for sure, and there's no particular angle that hides that. The tiny little dial, massive thick case, hugely protruding crystal, all say deep sea diving submarine. I'm not sure anyone's going to wear one. Be interested to see. It is £21,850 also, so not many people can afford to wear one either. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, It's bells and whistles, isn't it? That's what the watch game is all about. You know, we said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the Apple Watch Ultra, you know, it can navigate you out of the desert, it's got alarms, it's got GPS, can monitor all this and that, and it's like, I don't need it, but it's fun to have, and that's same as this, and same as most kind of tool watches, isn't it? It's just like, we don't need this stuff, but bells and whistles are fun.
It is a very impressive watch from a technical standpoint. One of the deepest diving watches that you can purchase on the market today, and goes deeper than the Omega equivalent. However, Omega would just say, but ours actually went there, so...
Ooh.
Burn.
Stirring it up.
The beef continues. Stay tuned for part 2, when Rolex inevitably take their watch down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and we do this all over again.
Can't wait.
Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.